Hello, I am Liam Gilroy, and welcome to Shatek Bay. This beautiful site attracts many tourists and is renowned for its beautiful picnic sites and beaches. This bay is perceived by many to be paradise, but is it really as beautiful underwater as it is above water? Unfortunately, there is little to no life underwater at Shatek Bay. The ecosystem is tragic, to say the least. You may be wondering, what is the cause of this? Well, the problem can be summed up in 5 words. Population explosion of sea urchins. Sea urchins are typically just one of the species living in a seaweed bed. They're herbivores that use their 5 massive teeth to scrape away at kelp and other types of seaweed. Despite the small size of these animals, they are causing colossal problems. With me today, I have a marine biologist, Dr. John Smith.
It's great to meet you, Liam.
So, could you elaborate more on the situation faced here in Shatek Bay?
The culprit is a sea urchin called Centrostephanus rogersi, otherwise known as the long-spined sea urchin. It's a native species of New South Wales that also occurs in New Zealand, but over the last few decades, its range has extended southwards into the waters around Tasmania. The invasive long-spined urchins are big, very big actually. With their spine canopy, they can get around 30 centimeters in diameter, and their appetite is not small either. These sea urchins eat tons and tons of kelp, if not all of it there is. Kelp is the same food that many other species eat, such as fish in this ecosystem, so that this naturally causes a problem.
I've heard that the East Australian current has had an impact on the ecosystem here in Shatek Bay. Would I be right in saying this?
Sure would be, Liam. For those that don't know, the East Australian current, also known as the EAC, made famous in Finding Nemo, is the western boundary current of the southern Pacific Gyre. A big circulating mass of water that stretches from Australia all the way down the west coast of South America. As a result of climate change, all the gyres in the southern hemisphere are starting to spin faster, which means the currents run harder and faster into Shatek Bay. The EAC carries large sea urchin larvae and their producers abandoned into Shatek Bay, causing the population explosion we see today.
Local residents have noticed the overpopulation and complained about the noise when they loudly eat the coral and kelp stripes. Here's the local resident now, Blake Baxter. So what have you witnessed over the course of your residency here in Shatek Bay?
Well, I've been living here for 20 years, next to the lake, and this is a huge problem that needs to be fixed. Whenever I go snorkeling or swimming, I hear a crunching noise of the urchins eating the kelp.
Wow.
It is frustrating and drains my ears. It is clear to see in the water the damage they are doing to the ecosystem, as well as the growing problem. It is getting worse every week. I've complained about the issue and nothing has been done.
This is one of the many local residents that agree that this is a growing problem for the ecosystem. As you can see, this specific species of sea urchin is swarming this ecosystem with overpopulation. These herbivores only eat coral and other plants, so the overpopulation is causing a huge decrease in their food amount of the ecosystem. These sea urchins are mindless. They don't store food for later like us humans. Unlike our snap-lock bags, they have nothing to store their kelp with. As a result, they eat all that is possible and hope that there is more for later. About some solutions about how we can fix the problem is a New South Wales representative for the environment, Alfred Canny.
Hello, Liam.
As you can see, Shatek Bay is looking a real mess. Is there any way we can fix this problem?
Well, there's actually quite a few ways we can help the ecosystem at Shatek Bay. For a start, we can attempt to cull the sea urchins. Now, you may be wondering that there is no chance in hell that this sea urchin is an apex predator. And you might be right in saying so. Large rock lobsters are actually their key predators for the long-spined sea urchin. If large and plentiful enough, however, they're more than capable of keeping a lid on the urchin population. But due to overfishing of lobsters, the sea urchin population has exploded. Pollution and recreational fishing was the main cause to wiping out the apex predators like the rock lobsters out of this ecosystem. With the community involvement in this project, we may be able to clean up the pollution in the waters and on the land around Chowder Bay. With this, hopefully, apex predators like the rock lobster will naturally repopulate the land which they once inhabited. The government has been researching on other threats to the sea urchin, such as the sea lion, but have invested a lot of money into producing fresh lobsters into Chowder Bay.
Here we are at Balmoral Beach. This area is a lot more popular than Chowder Bay, with pristine, clean waters and wide open spaces, and is located on the east coast of New South Wales. Being one of the most popular beaches in Australia, losing to Bondi, it comes as no surprise that the community and their impact on the beach is massive. As you walk around, you see little to no pollution and very little recreational fishing. The community knows that these aspects of life will only aid the sea urchins in their destruction of ecosystems. Let's delve beneath the surface of the beach into the water itself. As we can see, the water here is a lot clearer and full of wildlife, with no pollution in sight. This is the future of Chowder Bay. If we strive on fixing the problem of population explosion of sea urchins in this ecosystem, and implement the multiple solutions provided by researchers in the field of environment and marine biology, hopefully, this has given you insight into the situation faced here in Chowder Bay. This is me signing off. I am Liam Gilroy. You stay classy, Australia.